Today, let's hack a web application. So I am going to demonstrate to you a brute force attack, which is simply password guessing. And as I demonstrate this to you, it'll become apparent how important complex passwords are to protecting your account. So I have up in front of us a web application known as Jenkins, and then I have a piece of software in the background called Burpsuite, which can be used for brute forcing web applications and websites. So to get started, let me generate some traffic in Burpsuite. So we'll type in username Jenkins, if I can spell right, Jenkins and Jenkins. Now you can see here that Burpsuite popped up and it showed us the web traffic we sent to the web application. You'll see at the bottom here, the username we typed in was Jenkins, and then the password we typed in was Jenkins. So I am going to do something here. I'm going to highlight this password. I'm going to right click and I'm going to click Send to Intruder, which is another module within Burpsuite. Then I'm going to open the intruder module, and you'll see here that the Jenkins password field is highlighted. And now I'm also going to highlight the username field of Jenkins, and I'm going to go over here to the right and click Add. Now I'm going to go up here, and under a Choose Attack Type, I'm going to click the drop-down box, and I'm going to select Cluster Bomb. Now, what Cluster Bomb is you can give Cluster Bomb a list of usernames and a list of passwords. And Cluster Bomb will attempt username 1 with password 1, username 1 with password 2, username 1 with password 3, and then once it runs through the list of passwords, it'll switch to username 2, and then it'll try password 1 with username 2, and then it'll try password 2 with username 2, and so on and so on. So once I click Start Attack, you'll see the attack taking place. Oh, I forgot to insert the payloads. Okay, so we'll go over to payloads, and let's say at this company, I know that there is a user by the name of James Smith. So I'm going to try to guess different variations of the name James Smith for a username. So I'm going to go here close to the add field or next to the add button, and I'm going to type James Smith. I'm going to add James Smith as a possible username. Then I'm going to type, let's go James S as a possible username. Let's do Jim Smith. Let's do J Smith. And we'll try those 4 username combinations, and we'll give it a list of passwords as well. So we'll go up here and we'll select payload set 2. Now let's guess some passwords. Let's say password 1, or let's just go password. Then we'll do password 1. We'll say James Smith as a possible password. We'll say J Smith is a possible password. We'll say password 123 is a possible password. We'll say administrator as a possible password. Okay, now what it's going to do is it's going to, for each of these usernames, it's going to try each password combination, or each password for each username. Now we'll click Start Attack. We'll ignore this message. You can see here it's trying the username James Smith with password, the username James S with password, the username Jim Smith with password, and so on and so on. So if we pay attention to this length column, see how the length of the web traffic we're sending it is 305, 305, 305, 305. So we are, scroll down a little bit here. We'll look at the responses we're getting from our web traffic, because you can see here, we're sending, like, the username here is Jim Smith, and the password is jsmith. So you can see here the request traffic that is being sent to the web application is username Jim Smith with the password jsmith, as it says here. Now, if we go to the response section, we'll see here that we are getting a login error for all of these 305, this 305 length column. We're getting a login error for each of these. That's telling me that we just aren't getting through. It's an invalid username and password. But once it changes to this from 305 to this 300, then we know something is up. Something changed. The response changed. So we'll go down to the where it changes from 305 to 300. And then we see here in the response, it looks like we did not receive a login error, and it looks like we have a cookie, a session ID that's been set up. So I'll bet this is a valid username and password. This username with this password is probably valid because of the response we got. It didn't include a login error. Okay, so let's try that. Turn off our proxy there. Now, let's go ahead and reset this. We'll say jsmith, then we'll say password 123. And then we're in. You can see here the username is in this profile is Jim Smith, but we were able to successfully guess by throwing a bunch of username and password combinations at this web application. We were able to successfully guess a valid username and password. And this is why complex passwords are so important. Because if you have, let's say you have a password that's 16 characters with 5 symbols and 1 uppercase and lowercase and numbers and so on, that's going to be really hard for me to guess or any attacker to guess. I also want to say this, what I'm showing you right here is I'm doing this within my own home lab. This is very illegal if you do not have permission from the web application owner, and you can get in big trouble for it. So definitely, if you're going to practice this, do it within your own home lab. But that's all for today. Thanks for hanging out. We'll catch you later.